Build America, Buy America does not simply represent policy. It represents the fundamental goal to reinvest American taxpayer dollars at home in our own communities, supporting American workers, businesses, and communities. However, even in the best government policies need refinement if it's not working for the cities, states, and communities. Following exorbitant government spending by this administration, Buy America requirements could not be more relevant. Every member of this committee shares the common goals of strengthening infrastructure, revitalizing American manufacturing, and fostering economic growth. Let's continue working together for this reality without the undue burden placed on American innovators and job creators. First of all, I appreciate the education that I'm getting, actually, the idea of what waivers mean and how that impacts us in our goal to kind of make sure we're doing it right. Mr. Edmondson, you mentioned part of the solution will be APA taking a bigger role. What I want to do is ask each, Ms. Braceras, Ms. Needham, and Ms. Enders, what do you see the best way of working, keeping our priorities on America First, but yet tweaking our waivers so that it can fit in, so we can grow this process where we can actually get to a point where we don't need waivers again. So how, your industry basically, how would you do that? Start, Mr. Braceras.
Yes, thank you, Congressman. So I think it's important to recognize that, there's a lot of moving parts to this. And as state DOTs are trying to move projects forward, we've got that goal of getting those projects advertised to get the safety benefits and the mobility benefits out there. And so we really encourage our federal partners to recognize of what we're trying to accomplish, but we're trying to do it within the parameters and the rules that are set by Congress and by those federal agencies. And sometimes it doesn't feel like we have that necessarily, they're recognizing what we're trying to accomplish. It feels like there might be more of a singular focus on what their rule is or what their goal is. And so I think encouraging the continual collaboration so that when we're having a conversation with the different federal agencies, there's a recognition of what the end goal is. What we're trying to save lives and make lives better, fundamentally. And we can do that, and we can still meet the provisions of Build America, Buy America, if we all agree that we're gonna work together towards those common goals. Recognize some elements are gonna be more difficult to get to. They are a very small percentage of what's actually being invested in transportation. Let's figure out what it takes together to get there.
Mr. Needham?
Yes, thank you for the question. What I would say from a waiver standpoint, absolutely necessary, but applied in a narrow project, specific basis. And the reason I say for that is a lot of times what's not understood well is most of these products can be made right here in the United States, in America, with American-made teammates and workers. And so the exceptions are very few. And so having a robust process around the waiver process is very important. And, from our standpoint, the guidelines give 15 days to respond to that, and that seems adequate. Sometimes, though, we're seeing that we have 7 days or less to reply. And so I think it's important to have that robust process, because a lot of these exceptions are made when we can just make the products here, and that's not well known.
Okay. Mr. Enders?
Yeah, I think for the asphalt industry, maybe it's slightly different, because what we're getting exemptions for and waivers are some of the inputs coming in to America. 100% of the asphalt that are in our parking lots and the roads we're driving on is produced and made here in the United States. As we continue to look at alternative ways in areas of the country where maybe they don't have access to quality raw materials, I think some of those alternatives can maybe provide ways to get to your goal.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. We need to continue to advocate for your voices. And the point was made earlier, we have small business owners that truly are at risk. And our culture has to give them that room. That's where we're based. That's our country. That's our freedom. So whatever you can do to advocate for those small business owners, let us know. We're going to get a more innovative legislator. That's our goal, to make sure we can hear from you guys and do the right thing. So thank you so much, and I yield back my time.
Gentlemen.